rocking? Is that 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 rocking? Is that
Welcome to the Rob and Kale Show. Rob Sanders.
His own mother slapped the stork that delivered him.
And Kale Hall.
He doesn't deserve to be in this business. He deserves to have been blackballed.
The Rob and Kale Podcast.
I'm not sure why that makes me laugh every time.
I'm not ashamed no more.
Welcome to the Rob and Kale Podcast.
I want to do the thing.
Thanks for joining us this evening. I look forward to having a good program this evening. Lots of stuff we're going to get into. I sent Jackpot some stuff. First of all, we'll welcome in Jackpot, the #1 Gamecock YouTuber on the planet, Mr. Carolina Jackpot, with his Mazodcast hat on tonight. Way to go, Jackpot.
What's going on? We actually went off early tonight. We're here at 8:58, I think, was actually when the show started. So anyone who's complained about it being late in the past, we just made up for it. We're early, so that cancels it out, right? Is that how that works?
Well, I mean, people bitch if we're a minute late. People bitch they'll bitch if we're early. People are bitching about our countdown video that we have. People just like to bitch just in general.
Yeah, they do.
It's just the way that it is. Anyway, lots of stuff to get into tonight. We are going to start our stuff for the Callaways Pick Em Challenge. Coming up again, Jackpot was sending me the stuff for that. If you look in the show description, it is right there and ready to go for you. You just click the link, sign yourself up. Callaways Pick Em Challenge costs you $20 for the entire year. $20. I mean, that's a hell of a buy, Jackpot.
Oh yeah, that you're not going to be able to get action like that on the internet anywhere. So, a few ground rules on the layout first off, and we've already discussed these amongst ourselves in the previous, but I had a little to it. First of all, we'll start with week 0. We're going to do week 0 just like we did last year, and that week counts in the standings. But you'll be able to enter the contest all the way up until noon on the Saturday the season officially starts. So the Saturday, September the 2nd, I think it is. Is that right, or is it the 3rd? It's the
second. The second.
So you'll be able. So, but if if you're interested in winning this thing, you'll get your money in. You'll get in the contest, and you'll pick for week 0. Because if not, you're already going to be behind the 8 ball. So, I mean, there's like 7 games, for week 0. So if you go 5-2, you're already way out ahead of other people. There's some, there's some, games on week 0. Notre Dame and Navy, I guess, is the one that kind of is the most, I guess, star-studded matchup. We have to say from.
Can we just call week 0 the week of the Kale Hall shitters?
You've got that game. You've got, I think, UMass and New Mexico. You got USC Junior and San Jose State. It's just rough, dude. It's rough all the way around. But I've looked at week 1. Week 1 we'll have an official Kale Hall shitter game in week 1, and I'm looking at a few prospects already, and that one will be a little bit funny too, because we've got we'll have LSU and Florida State in that one, which is on a Sunday night, and then we'll have Clemson and Duke in there.
Well, I have to win. Out there, Jackpot, I haven't told you about this, but my son has been begging to go to Darlington. So for his birthday, my wife and I are taking him to Darlington, which is Sunday, September the 3rd. So I was going to lobby to you that we should do our show on Monday night. I mean, have it on live while the Clemson game's going on. We don't have to do the whole game, but I'm not doing a show September the 3rd because I'm taking my kid to Darlington. That's going to happen.
Well, they're having a race there that day?
Yeah, that's the Winston Cup, or I say Winston Cup race.
Okay.
That's like the whatever the hell they call it now. The boy likes NASCAR. I'm taking him to NASCAR.
Well, that's cool. Yeah.
So I'm going to take him for that.
There's some other tracks you can take. That you've got that track there. It's not 4-way. There's another. You got a track in Rockingham that's not too far. I don't know if they still have NASCAR races there or not. I assume they do.
This is the big NASCAR race, and our buddy Mike Muse at Calloway's got with his friend Crazy Carl, and we got tickets to go. So the wife and I are taking the boy. I know it's the Sunday after the Gamecocks had their game against North Carolina, but we can do a show on Monday if that's cool with you. If not, we can wait till Wednesday. Either way, I'll have the standings posted on Tuesday morning for the Callaways Challenge, but we'll figure that out as we go.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
We're taking the boy.
Used to have a race there. It used to be the Southern 500. I don't know.
Well, they NASCAR got away from its roots.
I know it's probably the Tampon 350, but
it used to be the Bojangles Southern 500.
Well, if you remember that whole series, I mean, it used to be that whole thing when I was a kid, listening to races on the radio, riding around on Sunday afternoon with my dad in his truck.
Yep.
It was the Winston series, the Winston Cup is what they raced for. And then, of course, we can't, we can't have it sponsored by cigarettes. Cigarettes bad for you. So somebody else picked it up.
Baylor Man wants a live reaction to the play-by-play by the Taters and Duke game. We'll look. Jackpot has to go to work early that next morning, and I'm not going to ask him to stay up late watching the damn Clemson game. It's not really. I mean, Jackpot, your day starts at like fucking 4:00, right?
It does, but I'm going to be watching that damn game. I mean, come on now.
Look, here's the thing. If Clemson goes up big and they're up 17-3 at the half, Jackpot's gonna be like, man, I'm fucking tired. That's nothing Clemson did. I'm just tired.
That ain't happening. Lawnmower Man says, I want to know what's Jackpot's actual thought on what he thinks of Clemson's upcoming season. Gonna be the flaming shits. How about that? Owen Hutto said Duke's winning the game by 17 plus. Don't know about all that, sir, but you're on the right track.
I'm going to the tears of joy that I will have when Clemson wins that game is going to be just hilarious. But
lots of positive comments over in the comment section about the Utz Chip videos, the work videos. People really like those. I appreciate it.
By the way, something else we're going to do tonight. We're going to go ahead and announce that this upcoming season, one of the highlights of this channel is Jackpot doing his game day streams. We're going to do condensed videos of the game day stream. It's going to be, Jackpot's game day streams go about 3-4 hours. We're going to break that down into the best of the streams and probably have those up by Wednesday. But if you miss Jackpot and some of the good stuff from his streams, including your mom's box brings down your cholesterol level, things like that, those will be ready for you on Wednesday, as we've agreed to put that together for you in a condensed version. So that's something to look forward to for football season.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Don't be taking any videos down like I've done in the past. And if anybody's got to understand why, in the past, I mean, I've been working for certain companies and, maybe said some things not disparaging a certain company or anything, but, maybe something that's not suitable and I don't want people to see it. So I would kind of take it down or move it to private and let people see it if they wanted to. Well, now I'm basically working for myself. So I'm not as worried about that kind of stuff anymore. So we're going to keep those videos up.
We're gonna also break them down a little bit so you can check them out. Jeremy, thanks for the super chat. I'm a Vols fan, but he loves your videos, Jackpot. So,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anyway, but back to the Callaways Pick 'em Challenge. I've got to check and see who won last year. I do know
Carlos Klein
won last year, defending champion.
Year before, don't even know him. Don't know who in the world he is.
Christian Young won the year before.
Send some money. I ain't never seen him in a chat before or nothing like that. But hey, I mean, he won the thing. So congratulations to him for that. The year before it was Christian Young, I think.
Yeah. Well, we do know Peg and Megan finished dead last year, and he'll probably finish dead last again this year because he knows nothing about the game of Hut Hut. But you can get into the challenge and you could win. I think the payout was over $1,000 last year. get in the challenge. It's $20.
Oh, it was a lot more. It was over $2,000.
Was it? I don't remember what it was.
And that's another thing I want to say too. If you're going to be in the contest, when you send me your money in, I've got to know who you are. Okay, we can't. Yeah, you can use whatever name you want to. If you want to go by Ray Bob in the contest, but your name is actually Jim Wallace, then that's fine. But you've got to let me know who you are. We had one that happened at basketball season that Robin, we had no idea who the hell this person was that won the basketball contest. They never got their money because we didn't know who he or she or it was. And we tried. I reached out on Facebook and put posts out on here, APB. We didn't put her on a milk carton because it doesn't come in cartons anymore. But if we had done so, or if we'd have been able to do so, we would have. Anyway, I got to know who you are.
So anyway, all of that, we want you to enter the Callaways Pick 'em Challenge. We're getting it up there early. Especially if you're one of these people that runs your mouth a lot over in this comment section, and I know everything there is to know about football and all that, get in the challenge. Put your football.
Mike Bridges, check the comment that I put on the one you sent earlier on about the Utz potato chip flavors. I'm going to help you out if you can't find what you're looking for. Just check that out. Anyway.
But Callaways Pick 'em Challenge, we thank Callaways for sponsoring the show. Of course, they're diagonal from the Walmart in West Columbia. Go by and check them out. All you folks that are coming to town, Kentucky, who else? Kentucky, Jacksonville.
Well, we have Kentucky coming to town, the nice people in Kentucky, Vanderbilt fans. We got the Mississippi State Bulldog people. We got some Jacksonville State Gamecocks coming in. We got the Furman Paladins coming in, although they're probably too snooty for any accommodations that we would provide them. Of course, we've got our friends from the dirty corner of the upstate. And I ain't talking about Wofford. I'm talking about Clemson. They'll be coming in. And the Florida Gators. And I wouldn't give them any accommodations. I'll put them up in a double-sized porta-john. That's where they need to go.
Yeah, Florida fans are they're out there. But anyway,
that's my fan base, and I need to go them into. I need to get some of them in here on this channel and get them to watching this thing because they're about as insufferable as the down Tennessee fans have been. The thing about them is at least the Tennessee fans are insufferable. Still, they have some football knowledge. I mean, these Florida people are. Some of them they're real football ignorant, man. They are really football ignorant. And I can't understand for the life of me how they keep scooping up these recruits. I don't know if it's all NIL money. I'm not sure, but they're going to end up being the new Texas A&M in that, I mean, recruiting at a very, very high level and producing very, very little on the field. Because that, and Uncle Lou has said it right. And I'm going to go off on a tangent here for a minute, but it's fine because we don't have a real. We're kind of anti-formulaic here anyway. Uncle Lou was talking about Florida football and how from 1991 through 2008 they won that time frame has encompassed all the SEC. I mean, you think about Florida and you always hear shit like, well, Will Muschamp couldn't win with Florida talent. How's he going to win at South Carolina? And you think about, you just think about the storied program that has been great for decades. But in reality, from 1991 to 2008, whatever that, what is that, a 17-year window?
Something like that.
That encompasses the entire time they won SEC titles and or national championships. Before 1991, no SEC titles, no national titles. After 2008, no SEC titles or national titles. Isn't that kind of strange to think about? So what he's saying is that Florida, being the shitter that it is right now, is not some kind of outlier or something that everyone should be up in arms about. It's just kind of them regressing to what they've always been.
I guess I can see that. There was a comment over there. Someone says, if I can't remember who it was, I want to give you credit for it, but I'll scroll back up for that. Elijah with a good comment. When Florida goes 4-8 this year, that recruiting class that they've got will fall apart. And I think that's something that is valid across the board. You could have a great recruiting class. And remember, signing day is in December. Okay. So you can have that great recruiting class and all of that and think, oh my God, we're outstanding in July. But you go into a season and you go 3-9 or 4 or 5-7, and you have some of the shit that happened to insert team here, Florida, Texas A&M, whatever. You could lose a ton of those players. If a coach leaves, like Texas A&M's recruiting class, if Texas A&M goes to shit and they fire Jimbo Fisher, they're going to lose a ton of those recruits. And that's across the board, man. Across the board.
Yeah.
So,
Brandon Coon says 2009 Florida team was pretty good, went 12-1. All the officers national champs, Alabama. I remember that game. Was that the one where Tim Tebow was crying over on the sideline? I think.
I'm one of those people. I've always thought Tim Tebow was a fake bitch, and I know that he's tried to. I'm trying to put out all this stuff with the Lord and everything else. You're telling me that you're just this abundant follower of Jesus and you're trying to bring everybody to Jesus. And on your own football team, you had rapists, murderers, and everything else. And you couldn't convert any of those?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, on the Zach Smith podcast, he was an assistant of some sort at Florida, like a graduate assistant or something there under Urban Meyer. And he said that Tebow was legit.
Well, whatever.
So, I think he probably was, but I mean, he was crying. But I'm like, dude, you won the national. I think I won a national championship the year before or 2 years before that. I mean, come on. I mean, you can't.
Megan with the comment. Tebow cried multiple times. Be more specific.
Okay. No, I said it was the Alabama game. That I knew he cried that one. I don't know the other one. Brock Lee says, I bet Jackpot's glad South Carolina didn't hire Napier. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He seems to have. He ain't no Shane Beamer, that's for sure. Big Bean says Tebow was undefeated against South Carolina 4-0. Yes, sir. A lot of people were back then.
With a dumb comment. Speaking of rapists, do you think Deshaun Watson is going to do anything this year, Rob? First of all, has Deshaun Watson been convicted of raping anyone? When you show me that, let me know. Deshaun Watson did stupid shit, but there has never been a conviction of rape against him. I know that the facts kind of hurt feelings, but let me know how that works out for you. The other thing too, Jackpot, I wanted to get into this evening. And I don't want
to. Before you get there, I know. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but there was a question earlier that I need to answer. Billy Cole asked, "Why was there a heart in the bottom of his comment section?" That is for you to, if you are so inclined, to leave something, and I forget what it's called. It's called a super like, not a super chat, but like you can hit that and like. Give like $5 to the channel or something. It's been around for a couple years. Not many people use it, and to be quite honest with you, we don't get a lot in the way of that here on this channel. And by the way, when we're doing these live streams, you hear a lot of curse words dropped, or things that aren't exactly what you want, or call like child friendly. Keep in mind, we don't get to monetize those things. YouTube flags them as non-advertiser friendly, and there's no monetization there on those. So any super chats that you can drop would help out. It helps the channel out a lot, and I'm not sitting here begging for money like a panhandler on the side of the road. Hey, brother, you want to lend me a couple dollars so I can get a little gas to get from here? No, I'm not doing that. But every little bit helps.
So one curse word gets us non-monetized? I didn't know that.
If you curse, I figured out that if I curse a little bit in some of the videos, they get to where they're limited. You have a green icon for it's being monetized, and then the yellow one means it's limited ads are running on it because it's not friendly for most advertisers.
Oh, Jesus.
I know.
Well, we've gotten better with that, but anyway, one of the other things, yeah, we try. Also, before we get into our topic this evening that I wanted to go over, we have to thank Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport, Fireside Chats with Uncle Jackpot, as Jackpot wets his whistle and gets ready to tell us a story.
Let's see what we got here. Okay. It sucks to be a Gamecock. As I lay my little Gamecock head down to sleep tonight, I pray that Dabo Sweeney shows our piss poor team the same mercy in November that the NCAA has shown Tennessee. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
A message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking.
First of all, who's the idiot that typed this up? I mean, they didn't even spell Sweeney correctly. It's no E in there. It's an I. Terrible.
All right. Anyway, thanks to Dennis Wilson from DNC Trucking and Transport for sponsoring the show. All right,
yeah,
so
sponsor some spelling lessons for Dennis Wilson.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so I wanted to talk for a minute here about, and Jackpot already made a video about his reaction to the violations and stuff that came out with Tennessee.
Brandon Kuhn, sorry, let me cut you off again, but I gotta hit these while I see them, or I'll forget about them. They'll be gone away. Brandon Kuhn's Jackpot, who will be a breakout freshman with the Gamecocks this year? Harbor. Grayson Howard, Putt Howard.
How about Joyner at running back?
He said breakout. He's not a freshman, sir. He's far from that.
Breakout players.
Well, he's already broke out. I would love to see. I know it's not going to happen, but I'd love to see Marquis Anderson playing some left tackle for the Gamecocks.
Shit. Peg and Megan off the top
rope.
He just Macho Man Randy Savage your ass. Dickless Harbor doesn't spell his name correctly either.
Yeah, I guess he needs to spell it Cock Bowers. Yeah.
Oh man, what a mess. Jackpot, your video that you put out about the Tennessee stuff. I'm just watching it and I'm just like, all right. I mean, I kind of knew that this was going to happen when it came to the Tennessee stuff because, and it came out today, that there is a lot of money in that Tennessee program. And there are a lot of attorneys that love the Tennessee program, much like the same thing with North Carolina. And there's going to be a section of people that were going to file a lawsuit if Tennessee was sanctioned at all. And the sad thing is that we've gotten to a point where the NCAA is a toothless organization that can't do anything correct anymore. 200 violations, and they hammered Jeremy Pruitt with a 6-year show cause, and if he gets hired by somebody, he's suspended a year. So Jeremy Pruitt may never coach again, but hey, it's at the point now where no one cares about that because he fucked over the great modern Tennessee program, and he should be put out to pasture. But you kind of knew this was going to happen. $8 million. Everybody's like, oh, that's a big deal. That's a drop in the bucket. I mean, maybe what some of the sanctions as far as these scholarships will hurt the program a little bit, but the NCAA has basically said, if you are a complete screw up, which is what Tennessee was, all you need to do is get rid of the people that are there, bring in some new folks. It's like painting over mold. If you paint over mold, the mold is still there. That's what Tennessee did. And the mold will come out eventually. Now, here's the other thing. They're on that 5-year probation. First of all, do you think that Tennessee, with the record that they have, is going to go through for 5 years and without any problems? I don't know. But what's the NCAA going to do to them anyway? I mean, seriously, what are they going to do? They've shown that if they try to do something, the attorney general for the state said point blank, I will sue you. It's basically what it comes down to. So in the end, they cheated. They had to vacate 11 wins over 2 seasons, which no one gives a shit about.
Well, yeah. Hey, I already said in that video that gave Will Muschamp 2 more wins in his coaching resume. Whee!
Well, look.
What's even more embarrassing is the fact that he lost to him 2 times. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the point is that, and the Tennessee fans, they're losing their minds about, we told you nothing was going to happen. At least the NCAA gave them more than what they thought that they were going to get, because there were people that were over the top. Oh my God, this is the greatest. We've given up so much and we fired everybody. That should be enough. That should be enough for the NCAA. At least they gave them something else. I mean, we can give them that. What they should have done, and we've said this on the program, you can look at Oklahoma State. You can look at Mizzou. There are several programs who've had far less things happen, who did far less, that got a much worse penalty than what Tennessee got. Now, the Tennessee fan, they don't understand that, and they're just going to think, we just have to have ball football. It's a precedent where we're at the point now where nobody can do anything.
Where we disagree a little bit. We disagree a little bit on the bowl thing. Like, I don't think it's fair. It's not. It ain't fair to punish kids and coaches who are there or at any school for shit that they didn't have. They didn't have anything to do with that.
Okay, well, I'm under the logic that at 18 years old, you're a grown-ass man. You can go into the military, take your ass to Afghanistan, get PTSD, and come back, and you can't get a visit at the VA at 23 years old. But, hey, we have to coddle these 18-year-old athletes that have been put into a position where if you can barely read, you can get your ass into college. But let's not hold them accountable. Let's not hold their parents accountable that they got a $500 a month car payment for 25 months. No, they didn't do anything.
But they didn't have anything to do with Jeremy Pruitt and his staff putting money in the Chick-fil-A bags. They didn't have anything to do with that. So, I mean, why should they get punished? That's just like, I don't agree with it anywhere. Like, Penn State wasn't allowed to go to a bowl game in 2012 or 2013 because Jerry Sandusky was doing what he did for however many years, and all these kids get penalized. They had winning seasons both years. Should have went to bowl games, couldn't go because of that. Back in the early '80s, in 1982, Clemson goes 9-1-1, won the ACC. 1983, Clemson went 9-1-1 again and won the ACC. Clemson goes 7-4 in 1984. They can't go to a bowl any of those seasons because they were on probation.
So
punishing kids again. I mean, I just say hit them like they did with the Tennessee. Hit them with a monetary fine, which kind of equates to what you would gain from postseason, and I don't know. Let that be it.
I can understand where you're coming from with that, but if we're wanting to keep people from doing it, the way to do it is to hit them hard with the postseason bowl ban. And look, these kids, if it comes back down to it, the coaches that it should have a stench on the program. No self-respecting coach should want to go there after the stuff that Jeremy Pruitt did, where he has the 6-year show cause against him and a 1-year suspension. You shouldn't want to go there. Now, that goes on your administration. You should put people in your administration and hold them accountable for the hires that they have. If new people come in, then you have to rebuild. That's what you get when you cheat. Not, hey, we're going to pay $8 million. It's ridiculous.
I want to get a couple of comments here in the comment section.
We got somebody waiting. You want to do the comments or do you want to do the waiting?
I want to do this just real quick. Marty Reinhardt, my man, Says, how long is Rattler's leash? I need to put his Hawaiian shirt on sometime, wear that on here. Maybe I'll do that next week. If y'all remind me, I'll put the Hawaiian shirt on. How long is Rattler's leash if he struggles? And does Harbor get a shot? I don't know about Rattler. I mean, we saw last year he struggled a lot, and they never yanked him. But this year, I mean, you're playing with a totally different offensive coordinator. Hopefully he's heads and shoulders better than Marcus Satterfield was. And it won't take much. So I really don't know, man. I can't answer that one. Just based on I don't know how much fucking up he's going to allow him to do. Daddy O says, how many touches do you think Harbor gets early in the season? I mean, I think you got to feed it to him and see what he can do.
A couple of comments. I'll mention this one really quick. Billy says, so why do minority coaches go to Clemson with buildings named after Klansmen and slave owners? I hate to be the guy that brings history to you, sir. All of our founding fathers, with the exception of John Adams, owned slaves. So under that logic, we shouldn't follow what the founding fathers said. Stop being a silly Tennessee fan. You know what you did is wrong. You're not going to talk me into a corner. It's not going to work. Sorry. Let's go out to Chris first. Chris, what do you have for the program, sir?
Hey, boss. So I noticed they do you think,
welcome back, by the way. Welcome back.
Welcome back in that.
Sorry, Jackpot, about last time.
Hey, it happens.
So all the players that were giving up the wins, the very few wins Jeremy Pruitt ever got for players that accepted impermissible benefits that they played in. You think that's right? That if you accepted impermissible benefits and you played in any games, that those games shouldn't count anymore?
I don't think that that's a penalty that matters, to be honest.
But I mean, do you think
you have to hammer them for the future? Is what I'm trying to say. You need to put a handcuff on the program so the program knows we're not going to do this anymore.
Do you think
bucket, man? You know it just as well as I do. I mean, there are people.
My thing is
across the board about it was a slap on the wrist, and it comes back down to it. Why would you not cheat if you knew that this was the worst that you're going to get?
I agree. I mean, I agree. I think any player that accepted any money from Tennessee, if they played in any game in college football, those games should be.
I know where you're going from this, and you're going to go with, what was it, Mims going somewhere and someone else going to some other program, right?
Oh, I mean, that's what you believe, right?
I believe. I don't look. To be honest with you, I don't give a shit about what the players got. It's the administration and the program that should be hammered. Those players are going to come and go. When you go to Knoxville this year, no one will give a shit.
Okay, so
that. They put quarterback around the stadium to get the $8 million, and you hillbillies would fill it up.
You got mad because we didn't get what Mizzou and Oklahoma State got. Why did what Mizzou and Oklahoma State got make you mad? Why did that make you? Why is them getting that make you mad? Is it because they were punishing kids who had nothing to do with the violations?
It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that Tennessee was recruiting with an unfair advantage and doing things that were, and not that everybody doesn't cheat, by the way. Let me put that out there. But it was overly aggressive. You can read the report. I'm not going to have to read the entire report to you, am I?
I agree. I've read it. I agree.
So you agree that it was aggressive, right? And what they were doing was wrong. Okay, then why not agree to a tougher punishment than what you got?
I agree to any punishment that doesn't affect people who had nothing to do with it.
Look, and the way around that is that you treat them like adults. You tell them, look, this has happened here. There's going to be a postseason ban. You are free to go anywhere that you want. As far as the coaches,
but not every kid has that choice. Not every kid can just, I don't want to play at Tennessee. I can go play it
anywhere else. You're telling me that your quarterback right now, Milton, couldn't say, hey, you know what? I don't like the fact we're going to have a postseason ban and he wouldn't get to play somewhere else. He could play any damn where. You know,
I mean, kids can transfer. You don't have to give them the choice to transfer and be immediately eligible. They're immediately eligible
to get out and make it where and make it easy for them to go. That's
I
what
think
the NCAA should
when
do.
it was a meaningless team that nobody really hated, nobody cared about, like Mizzou and Oklahoma State in basketball, when it was a meaningless team getting fucked and kids who had nothing to do with the violations getting screwed, everybody said, this is wrong. We can't do this anymore. And the NCAA said, you know what? You're right. And now that they've done the new rule and it affects a team that you don't like, you think it's BS.
Respectfully, I was the same way about North Carolina basketball, where they were giving away African American studies degrees to kids that couldn't read. I felt
they didn't get
about that. So don't come at me with just because they're programs that aren't blue bloods. Stop it. It's across the board. You cheated. You shouldn't.
So you think Mizzou and Oklahoma State got what they deserved? You think Mizzou and Oklahoma State got what they deserved?
I think the Mizzou penalties were a lot were light. I think Mizzou shouldn't have been as harsh there. But if the NCAA had come out with a hammer on all programs like that, then you know what? And they held their feet to the fire. It's kind of hard to argue against it. So there's that.
Fair enough. I mean, I think I would have to go back and look. And you say we got more. I mean, I literally said on the last podcast that I called into that Tennessee would get a fine, lose some wins, and lose some scholarships.
They lost more scholarships than what the amount that they'd already given up. So
I mean, nobody's given up. They gave up 8 scholarships a year. You're not going to give up more than 8 scholarships a year so far. That would be crazy. They have 10 scholarships left to go. That's over 5 years. That's 2 scholarships a year.
I was talking about the people who were basically coming out, oh, they've given up enough. No, at least the NCAA gave you something else. And that's all that you could hope for in the land of the corrupt, and where your attorney general says, touch me and I'll sue. That's how you want it. It's not like you want it with any honor or anything else. It was touch me and I'll sue like a bitch. Because that's exactly what they did.
I mean, it's almost like, you talk about lawsuits. It's almost like somebody exposing like atrocities happening in a football program, and they're like, "You better shut your mouth, or we're going to write you a sternly worded letter, and then we might sue, but we don't want to sue." Because
it could be, you know, we could talk about how fan bases want to rip apart another program with a young man that had accusations against him, but was cleared, but people still wanted to hammer them. We could talk about that too if you wanted to.
I mean, you don't really want to dig into Kirby's past of letting, you know,
I don't have to dig far.
Transgressions go.
I can dig 14 days ago where Tennessee fans were ready to burn down Athens over this stuff with
if he didn't do anything in the police, for one, when the police is calling in the investigation saying my beloved dogs, he's biased in that. But two, I don't care what happens to Jamal Jarrett. The thing I've got an issue with is when a UGA employee is sitting in on questionings. Hey, don't answer that. Hey, you can answer that. Don't answer that. And then gets to know who the victim is, or the alleged victim is. Do you know how that would be like telling the mafia, hey, this is who's telling on you. Okay, I'll go pay them off, or I'll go intimidate them. Oh, their story changed? Weird.
I mean, we have the text messages and everything else that just completely show that the kid was a 16-year-old getting screwed by a 20-year-old.
And he lied to her, said he was 17 to almost turning 18. Those were in the text messages. You remember that, right?
Yeah, he's 16. He was 16 years old though. So,
he lied to her. 16's legal in the state of Georgia. I wouldn't do it, but there's not a crime there. The aggression, the aggressive sex, and the not taking no for an answer, that's an actual crime. You guys are sitting here digging it. Georgia needs to raise their age of consent to. I live in the state. I agree. Raise it to 18, but they're not going to. You know why?
We're going to go.
Preachers would be mad.
He wouldn't even old enough to have hair on his peaches.
We don't need to go into all that. All I know is that there were several Tennessee fans that were losing their mind over this kid who at 16 was just chasing women.
What about Ra Thomas, who can hit his girlfriend and stay on the team?
Are we going to bring up every single thing?
Well, I mean, that's what Alan Judd did.
Do you want to go back that far?
He's still literally on the team. I mean, there's a rule in college. There's a rule in the SEC that was created because Kirby watched a dude aggressively assault his girlfriend, get kicked off UGA's team, and still took him at Alabama. And then he did it again, and now they had to create a rule. There's literally a rule because of Kirby not giving a shit about women getting hit. There's a rule in the SEC now.
But
it's called the Jonathan Taylor rule.
Don't do that.
I haven't seen the state attorney from Georgia come out and say, "Hey, we're sue the NCAA."
The governor literally changed the law in Georgia for the FOA request to now be 90 days for only universities, so that they could hide, hey, did this kid get in trouble? Well, we don't have to tell you anything for 90 days. That's not including the weekend, 90 business days. That's not including weekend and holidays. It takes 6 months to find out something if a kid violated a rule or anything like that.
Sure.
Don't sit there and talk about government sitting there protecting the school when UGA's got the only school in the fucking SEC with a 90-day FOA request rule.
Holy shit. All right, well, I have to move on because I have several folks, but at least you didn't piss Jackpot off enough.
Well, because Jackpot's got sense, and I tried to rile him up last time. And
everything I've said has been factual, sir.
You're acting like Tennessee's the only school protecting the only state protecting its school. And I literally proved to you that that's not true. And you're okay, whatever.
Hold on.
Whatever,
all I said was, show me where the attorney general told the NCAA they would sue. Let me know about that. You can
investigate Georgia like you do Tennessee, and I bet you they will.
All I asked was you can send that to me. Hate tweets go to Rob Sounds Good. All right, very simple. Appreciate it, buddy. Have a good night.
All right, Broccoli over in the comment section says the investigation would have never happened if Pruitt was a good coach and Tennessee didn't want to pay his buyout.
He's probably right. All right, let's go back out. We got people waiting, Jackpot. Let's go.
All right.
All right. Where are you at? All right, well, he's not there. Let's go to Hairy Leg.
What's up, guys?
Hi, Hairy Leg. What's up?
And hi, chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Enough of this nonsense about pillaring Georgia on some petard that's been hoisted by some discredited investigative journalist who played fast and loose with the facts of a tragic situation and actually embellished the hell out of a dadgum event which didn't ever see the light of day according to the cops. And as so much as the gentleman who was sitting there with the player or the recruit in question in that 16-year-old deal, Jarrett, his incident, he was there because the parents couldn't get there. He was there as actually in a guardianship role. That was the reason he was summoned. In the state of Georgia, unless you're 18, you're not an adult.
It's just funny to me that Tennessee has 200 violations, and hey, nothing to see here. But let's roast Kirby Smart, who I don't have like this great love affection for Kirby Smart, but hey, we're gonna roast Kirby Smart because of some sex that a guy had. It's ridiculous.
Well,
but they want Kirby Smart investigated for this, but they have 200 violations and it's nothing to see here. You don't worry about that. We had to cheat really hard to get 11 wins in 2 seasons, so you leave us alone. How bad would they have been if they didn't have those players? Would they have gone like 3 wins, 4 wins? What the hell would have happened then?
Well, to put an end to I'm not going to discuss this after tonight with anyone, sure. But so far as it is with the AJC versus UGA, stay tuned. Based on information that I received today, it would appear that the AJC wants to play in court. So we will see how this rolls out, because they've yet to retract the article, and then the Mr. Judd, the journalist, investigative journalist who was fired in a previous position with the Louisville paper over a similar incident that, and it's eerily similar. Senator Blutarsky, who is a blogger on sports, but he's a known Georgia blogger, and it's been around for eons. Did some research on that gentleman, and he released it. And I tell you what, let's play. It's not going to be pretty if they want to go that way. But enough of it. Enough of it. Let's get back to some football here, and I'm excited as hell. Can't wait for this crap to start. And yes, I will be in the Callaways Challenge. I
Awesome.
intend to win. I intend to win. I fell short last year. I finished fourth.
I hope so. I hope that you get in, and I hope that Chris gets in too. He'll, Peg and Megan's going to finish dead last. Chris will finish next to last. Him and Peg and Megan will be battling for that 0 spot, I'm sure. But hey, Harry Leg, thanks for joining the program, man.
You'll be good.
All right, Jackpot. Let's try. We got people lined up here. Let's go to this one. And welcome to the show, there, Peg and Megan.
Hey guys, want to thank Chris for actually outdoing the nonsense that the AJC put out there with his nonsense. He literally just said that Kirby Smart watched a dude punch his girlfriend. He couldn't do that, Chris, because he wasn't even in Athens. That happened under Mark Richt. And the other interesting part of that story is it is true. Saban took that guy even after knowing what happened in that incident, and the Rick and his staff sent pictures to Alabama of that girl's face to ask them, to plead with them, do not do this. Do not put him on your squad. And guess what? They did, and Jonathan Taylor did it again, and then he was removed from the team. What Chris and the AJC, they don't tell you stories about like how quickly Adam Anderson was removed from the team for sexual assault allegations at the time. Same with Jeremiah Holloman. They were removed immediately from the team. So that was complete fake news from Chris once again.
Right. Well, here's his problem. He supports an irrelevant program that's lost so much and gone so far from when they won their last national title that everything that Alabama does, he wanted the Alabama kid that bumped the girl on the sideline. He wanted him arrested, even though the girl was trespassing in his own damn state. He wanted that kid arrested. It's just anything that is against the mighty Tennessee label. He is, oh my God, he has to fight it till the end of time. It's rather comical.
So I hear you guys talking about the Callaways Challenge. I have to air a grievance here. I never did receive the golden penis last year, Rob. Can you please remove it from your anus?
You did not send me your address. So send me your address and I'll make sure you get it.
Lord, Rob, make sure you wipe it off after you do that. Don't send it in the mail like that.
No. Special sauce. All right, Peg, and thank you for joining the show, man. I appreciate it.
43-18, Rob.
Have a great day. All right, we got to find out what TriStar's hauling, Jackpot. Maybe he's actually here now. TriStar, welcome to the program.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what are you hauling, sir? We wanted to guess what you were hauling. I'm going to go with goddamn, you didn't let us guess. We were going to guess. He's hauling eggs, Jack. Why is it that everything with you is just giving me the finger? We were trying to figure out what you were hauling, sir.
Because fuck Clemson.
Okay, well.
That's why.
Bless your heart, sir.
Okay, so the word around the street is that I was called in the street UL.
Okay, don't get egg on your face. Ha ha ha.
But again, here's the thing, I understand why Tater Man be mad, upset about how apparently Tennessee didn't get a harsh enough punishment because they can't beat us. I mean, we're out recruiting them. We're getting guys out of South Carolina that they're Braylon Staley. You can't beat us in football. You can't beat us in goddamn baseball. You can't beat us in anything. And look, I'm wearing my Orange Bowl t-shirt just for the occasion.
I mean, we've talked about that, but look, I felt the same way about North Carolina. You're not special. This is more of a problem with the NCAA, not your shithole program. You can take it that way if you want, and that's fine. But it's more about the NCAA and the fact that they're toothless.
Well, you do realize that they've already came out and said way before the investigation got going that their plan is that they're not going to try and punish players and coaches that are there now. They have came out and said that.
We've talked about that, and that is water under the bridge, sir. What else do you have for the program?
So, okay, so basically the NCAA did what they said that they were going to do. And
right. And it's wrong, and they should. They're basically a court that doesn't have a prison. Is what they are.
Well, again, you know, since we're talking about digging up skeletons and stuff, you're talking about Tennessee. You know, I'd hate for them to start investigating mega churches in Anderson, South Carolina. You know, I'd hate for that to start happening.
Hey, if you want to go and mess with the house of the Lord that donates money to every school in the state, please go ahead.
Yeah, but again, you ever heard the old phrase, Rob? Hold on. You ever heard that old phrase? You can't throw stones when you live in a glass house. You're in that glass house, sir.
I'm sorry. I don't think that Clemson, South Carolina, Alabama has 200 violations.
We haven't talked about those old shampoo bottles in a long time either.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Dabo's brother liked them shampoo bottles a lot, you know?
All right,
sorry. God.
Thank you. Hey, I appreciate you coming on the program. Honored to bring into the program, fresh out and ready to jackpot. I'm actually happy about this. Let's welcome BVD to the program.
All right.
What's happening, boys?
How you doing, sir?
Why are y'all so mad that we cheated with 2 million violations and got a slap on the wrist?
First of all,
Alabama, it would have been the same thing.
Sir, first of all, thank you for kicking out, brother, and coming back and making sure that I actually, if I want to know something about Tennessee football this year, I can go to the BVD channel. I don't have to go to the Talking Qualls or the Society of Stupid
I don't speak about
whatever
that
all
here,
that.
But anyway,
I know you guys. Hey, look, I know you guys don't like. I know you don't like the Talking Balls channel, and that's okay. We all have haters. I got haters that hate me. I got Tennessee fans that can't.
Brother, I have nothing against you, BVD. I'm just glad you're here and we can enjoy football season together, sir.
Hell yeah. You know me, man. I'm going to tell it like it is, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. If Tennessee sucks, I'm going to tell you they suck. If Tennessee's better than Clemson, I'm going to say, fuck yeah, we're better than Clemson. And if South Carolina can find that fucking nut, you know, that one nut that the blind squirrel finds every year, we'll let them have it. You can have the biggest win in South Carolina football history was a 30-point win over Tennessee. What does that say about the program, Jack?
I disagree.
Oh my God!
You knew that was coming. I mean,
that was the biggest one in history. You know what that really was, and not a lot of people really think about this anymore. That was South Carolina getting a measure of revenge. You know, that was getting a measure of revenge for 2013. I mean, they fucking ruined any chance that South Carolina ever – if South Carolina ever had – I mean, we can talk about Navy all day long in 1984, but if South Carolina actually had a legitimate chance to play in a national championship game, they fucking ruined it in 2013 because had we won that game – we would have played for the SEC championship against Auburn.
You just returned the favor.
And probably would have beat them. That team wasn't that good. That was the Auburn team that had the kick six, that had the damn batted down pass against Georgia. They had, I don't know, they had a rabbit up their butt every week. Now, to their credit, when they played in the national, that was the last, I guess, BCS national championship game, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they played Florida State really good. Should have beaten them. And I don't know if South Carolina could have played. I don't know how we would have fared against Jameis Winston's Seminoles, but I'd have liked to have found out.
Well, we got the Rooster Florida State Seminoles the night we beat
Michael Palmer over in the chat. Yes, we would have fucking beat Auburn in 2013. Some bitches wasn't worth a shit. Let's go back in the record books and look at how many. It's been 10 damn years ago, so I don't remember how many lucky fucking wins they had. That lucky damn kick six bullshit against Alabama. That little crap they put. That damn batted down pass against fucking Georgia. I'm sure they had something else somewhere where they pulled a rabbit out of their ass against somebody else. Everybody talked about it all damn season. How fucking lucky they were.
Hey, I'll say this: South Carolina.
They beat up on Mizzou in that SEC championship game because Missouri's
South Carolina
defense
is
was
more
fucking
relevant than
horrible.
Auburn right now. Would you agree?
What's that?
Bob? South Carolina is more relevant than Auburn right now. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I'm looking back at the Auburn schedule that year. They beat Washington State by 7 points.
Oh wow!
Arkansas, they hammered. They beat Mississippi State by 4 with a touchdown in the fourth quarter. They lost to LSU by 14. Beat Ole Miss by 8. Hammered Western Carolina. Beat Texas A&M by 4. That might have been the best one. Is the game on the road there where they beat A&M on the road. Beat up on Florida Atlantic. Thumped Arkansas. Let's see here.
Terrible.
Smoked Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee wasn't that good that year. Won by 5 over Georgia, 43-38 in a shootout. They beat Alabama 34-28. That's the kick six game. Hammered Mizzou and lost to Florida State 34-31. So,
hey, you guys.
What was the score of their game against Mizzou?
I'm gonna get off of here.
All right, BVD. Thank you, buddy.
Just wanted to jump in and say hello. Good to see you guys. Move your show back 2 hours on Sunday so I can have a viewer or two, and then the three of us will be just fine. That was a joke.
Thanks a lot, man. All right, BVD. We got Ship Happens joining us, Jackpot. Let's see what he's got here. Welcome to the program, sir.
What's going on, guys?
How are you?
Good. Yeah, talking about that 2013 South Carolina team. Well, more like the 2011, 2012 team for South Carolina. Well, Jackpot, first of all, have you heard of a guy named Quad Gilchrist for South Carolina? He played like fullback, middle linebacker during that time.
Name sounds familiar.
Well, he was on that team. Well, I'm from the Augusta area, like the Augusta area, North Augusta, Edgefield. You know, that's in South Carolina. That's on the border by the Masters and stuff. So in 8th grade, we went to one of the middle schools for a career day in 8th grade, and he was a teacher there. He was a teacher at one of the middle schools, and he brought out. He brought out a ring. So, I don't know if you knew, but South Carolina, all the players got a ring for back-to-back 11-win seasons. No lie.
It was back-to-back. That's freaking awesome.
But still, I mean, come on. Was an Outback Bowl and a Capital One Bowl win? Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, against who did they beat? Michigan
in Nebraska.
Story program, Blue Blood. The other one was Nebraska story program, Blue Blood. Another one against Wisconsin, emerging Blue Blood. They owned the Big Ten.
Yeah. This Quad Goat, he was a pretty cool dude. Well, he told us a story how he's like
Clemson a lot during that time too. Yeah,
that's where Clemson had Deshaun. So, but
they had the best quarterback thrown for most yards in the history of the school, AC or the ACC. Still couldn't beat South Carolina though.
Well, this Gilchrist guy, he told us a story how he was kind of like Cam Newton, where he got kicked off the team or something like that. I don't know, but he went to junior college the same year Cam Newton did, and he played him in the national championship and lost to him. So that was pretty cool. Then he went to South Carolina and played his career as a linebacker or fullback, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that was true. I mean, that's a real thing. They gave him back-to-back rings for 11-win seasons. It was, who does that? That's a South Carolina thing right there. I'll tell you that.
South Carolina set a precedent with that. I mean, nobody's done it before or since. So yeah, we're kind of special with that. That's Coach Spurrier though, man. He was an innovator for sure.
But so do you see South Carolina at least making a New Year's Six bowl game in the next 10 years?
in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. My fortune, my crystal ball really doesn't go that far into the future, but I'd have to say yes.
10
I
years.
mean, why not?
I mean, come on.
Hmm.
So, all right, man. Hey, I appreciate you joining the program, sir. You have a great day.
You too. Appreciate it.
Thanks. People just calling just to torment you, Jackpot. Why is that?
I mean, he ain't going to get my goat. I mean, South Carolina Steve Spurrier was an innovator for doing that. Nobody else was doing that. And he was also very generous. I mean, nobody else would do that for their players.
I wonder if Will Muschamp, he should have given his players, rings for him. Leading the winning all-time winningest coach in a 3-year history. He should have given his players rings for that. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, they threw pizza parties, so I mean,
yeah,
same thing. I mean, he was an innovator too.
Yeah, well, maybe that's something that that now that he's marinating down at Georgia, awaiting his next program, we'll see how that works out for him. All right, Jackpot, you got anything else you want to go out there? I mean, we got to join the Callaways Challenge. Link is in the bio. Make sure you get involved with that.
Yeah,
right?
we've already got one entrant in already. He sent me his money while we were doing the podcast, so that's solid.
Who's that? Who?
I can't remember in that.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway,
it flashed across there, but we really need to get as many participants as say. It would be so nice if we gave away like a $3,000 pot right before Christmas time. I mean, come on, that conference championship week, or right after conference championship week, right when they're figuring out who's going to be in the Final Four, who's going to be in the playoffs. I'll be sitting here sending out, nice little stocking stuffer to somebody.
Peg and Megan says, how many national rings does Muschamp have now? Well, as a head coach, 0. So thanks for going along.
Pinky rings. Michael Palmer, this guy keeps spewing these idiotic comments. A great season for USC Junior is to finish 3rd in the East. Okay, first of all, they don't have divisions out there anymore, sir. And they're only in that conference for one more year, where they're going to be in the Big Ten East or West. I don't know. But I mean, that's who you're talking about. I assume we're talking about USC Junior. Is on the West Coast, and they're doing pretty good. I mean, they had the Heisman Trophy winner last year. I mean, they got Marshawn Lloyd now too, so look out. They're going to have a running game.
All right, do you want
to? We were a state before they were a college, and they're still searching for a revenge win over the Gamecocks. So, as far as I'm concerned, they're USC Junior.
All right, well, we had 2 people show up here really quick. You want to get to them before we get out of here?
What are you talking about?
We had 2 people show up.
USC, no, USC Junior is not the Gamecocks. That would be the Trojan man.
Jack, I'm talking about. We had 2 people that showed up really quick. You want to go to them really quick before we get out of here?
Sure.
All right, let's do Fishing first. Fishing, what do you got for the show? This is where you speak, sir. Hello, Fishing.
Unmute your thing.
Unmute your thing, buddy. We're waiting on you. Hello, Fishing. All right.
Hit the microphone, Fishing, that thing. Just tap it if it has a slash through it, and then you can talk.
Nothing there. All right, let's go to this one. Welcome to the show.
Big Barney Ross.
Big Barney Ross.
Hey, Big Barney Ross.
I got a question for y'all, and I'll get off here and listen to what you got to say. What's
the what?
Hey, what's to stop any university from just producing any law to help their team and coach out so they can cheat better? And like Mark Stoops could say, hey, if you come to Kentucky, you could drink bourbon as long as it's mine, and you won't miss any game time. Or just have the governor to write up a law that says, hey, we'll protect you if you do this, that, or the other. I'll get off here and listen to what you got to say.
Thank you, Big Barney Ross. Well, I mean, he is correct. But see, I think why their running back got in trouble last year, he wasn't drinking Stoops' bourbon. He was drinking tequila.
He was drinking tequila on Mother's Day, 2022.
On Mother's Day. All right, let's try to add Fishing back here. Fishing, are you gonna join the program? What you got? Hello, Fishing. We keep trying to bring Fishing into the show, but Fishing is just not there. All right. Well, jackpot. We gave Fishing a chance.
Yeah, if you hadn't never done it before, once you click the link and then that pops up and you join, you have to hit the things that allow the microphone and camera access. You can not allow the camera access if you don't want the mug shown on there. Like you might be sitting there taking a shit or whatever, so you don't want anybody to see you sitting there dropping a deuce, but you have to allow the microphone access.
All right, well, we'll try one more time. I feel bad because this guy may be new to the show.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Fishing.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Jesus Christ. My bad.
All right. What do you got for the show?
Yes, it's my bad. Anyway, I wanted to piggyback off of what the guy was saying earlier about the the bowl bands, the thing that Tennessee just really got recently. I don't have a problem with punishing these teams and these programs, but at the same time, does Josh Heupel come into a program and expect to be penalized? Same thing with Missouri and Eli Drinkwitz. Same thing with LSU.
So
I understand there needs to be circumstances, but at the same time, these coaches, and at the same time too, I understand they know what they're coming into. I know that.
Right. Well, I know that Drinkowitz is getting paid over $4 million to coach at Mizzou.
That's his salary though.
I don't forgive me if I'm not going to cry a river when the guy gets $4 million to coach. I don't feel bad for the coaches. I'm sorry. I really don't.
Well, and I don't blame you. Knowing what you're going into, like I said, but you never know what the NCAA is going to do. So, there's certain programs, you can go from Penn State, you can go from Missouri, you can go to Tennessee, you can go to LSU, you can go everywhere. It seems like the NCAA is starting to do stuff for no reason. They haven't done anything for so long. And so now they just want to start doing stuff. It could have been a lot worse for Tennessee. It could have been a lot worse.
All right,
but I feel like Tennessee is good now, so the NCAA said, "Oh well, yeah, we'll slap you on the wrist with this." You know what I'm saying?
You might be right. If it were someone else, maybe it would have been a little bit more harsh. But who knows?
What kind of mess? I wonder what kind of mess the person who takes that Northwestern job is going to have to clean up.
That's going to be interesting. Okay. We got to do this last one. From the nursing home before they cut off his Wi-Fi. Billy, welcome to the program.
What's up, guys? Long time no see.
Brother, does the nurse know that you're online this late?
Well, I've got the lights out and the sheet over my head. Hurry up. We need to hurry.
That's right. You dimmed that.
She'll be making rounds in a minute. Hey, listen.
Sure.
Do you think the penalty, so you don't think what the NCAA handled down to Tennessee was fair?
No, not for 200 violations.
Okay. And what were those two itty bitty violations? They fired all the coaches.
That's fine.
They got rid of the players.
In the end, it's not a stinging enough thing there, man.
So you think when somebody gets a reckless driving charge that everybody gets the same?
Sir, you're a habitual offender. You're the most penalized team in the conference for the past 20 years.
Tennessee cleaned themselves up. 25 scholarships, fired the coaches, and they got rid of it and they cleaned up. And I need to correct y'all on something just so you know. losing those wins did cost Tennessee something. Having to vacate those wins, it did cost them something.
Okay.
Do you want to know what it is?
What is that, sir?
Well, I mean, it was in the article. I mean, if you read it, I'm sure you know what it was. Let me ask you this. What would you consider a blue blood program?
I don't know, man. It's late.
Well, I mean, Jackpot, what would you think a blue blood college football program is?
Certain number of national titles, I guess.
National, how about wins?
Yeah, probably in the top 10 in
Okay,
winning.
there you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Tennessee dropped out of the top 10 by vacating those 11 losses. So we're not a blue blood program anymore.
That's funny, Billy.
Now they just got blue balls.
And oh, by the way, when they vacated those wins, the opposing team didn't pick them up. That was in the article too. They did not pick the opposing team.
So Will Muschamp didn't get those 2 wins?
No, sir. No, sir.
Well, that's a bunch of crap. Somebody's got to get the damn win. Somebody's got to take the motherfucker.
You'll take him any way you can get him, can't you, Jackpot?
Exactly. Well, yeah, though, and I still think Will got shorted on that. That ain't right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is. It's already written on the wall. I mean, hey, we'll figure out how things go from now on. But I just think
I understand that at the time when they broke those rules, yes, and the NCAA come down. But let me ask you something now. Do teams buy players now?
I don't think. Well, it's not under the same duress. You know that as well as I do.
Lamaleva at Tennessee, a high school kid, got an $8 million NI deal. That's worse than any McDonald's bag. There's no kid worth $8 million NI deal. I'm sorry.
I agree.
So, and this is why Saban's pissed off, because everybody's doing it now. It's legal. It's legal.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well,
you want to go to bed, aren't you?
Well, it is late, and Jackpot's got an early day. I don't want to hold Jackpot up either. So
yeah. Hey, Jackpot, you said a Monday video of the grind, and it was Saturday. I didn't get.
Yeah, but it was recorded on Monday.
Okay.
So it's still a Monday grind. It was I kept that one in the what do you call that? Kept that one on deck for a few days.
All right. And
I actually tried to upload it on Tuesday morning, but
if y'all ever have BVD again, I'm gonna have to unsubscribe. This guy is something else.
Be nice to me. Appreciate it. Thank you, Billy.
Bye. Good night.
All right. So apparently, I may have offended Fishing over there. Fishing, I wasn't trying to be rude to you, sir. I was trying to wrap up the show, but I'm sorry if I offended you. He says when you get annoyed, you just disagree with everything under the sun. Maybe.
Well, hey, he tried to get you on 3 times, sir. I mean, come on now.
Did you say yes, Karen? Damn it, the wife's not even helping tonight. All right, so Jackpot, I'm gonna give you the choice. I got 2 people waiting. We've got Bluegrass Sports Media and Rob has an SEC bias. Do you want to take the calls or do you want to go on? It's up to you.
Let's hear what they got to say.
All right, what do you want to go first?
Give me some Bluegrass Sports Media. I think you knew that was coming.
Yeah, Jesus.
How's it going, guys?
Bluegrass Sports Media, welcome to the show.
I appreciate it, guys. I have a question. So, if a company commits tax fraud, right, and they fire everyone in the company that was associated with the tax fraud, are they still getting sanctions, or is it just because they fired everybody, the CEO is good?
If you ask Tennessee fans, they don't think that you should. They don't think that should matter.
And that's where I'm getting at. Like, you fired Jeremy Pruitt and all those guys. Well, first of all, if he was winning anything, you wouldn't have fired him, and you never would have self-reported this bullshit. Secondly, so basically what you're saying is, I can hire somebody in Kentucky, we can cheat our ass off, and then once we get caught, if we fire that guy, it's just like nothing happened. We shouldn't get any sanctions at all. Nothing should happen to us. We should lose. We should self-impose our own scholarship bullshit. It doesn't make any sense. These Tennessee fans are like, oh, we should have a bowl ban. First of all, you should have got worse than a bowl ban. You should have got more scholarships taken. You have 200 level 1 NCAA rule violations. That's more than probably the entire SEC in the past 10 years. I just don't understand. I don't get it.
It's a new day, sir, and they don't care.
Yeah, that's fine. When Kentucky comes there and whips their ass, they're going to care. But
respectfully, sir, you should take the advice that I give to the Tennessee folks. Just because you won one time against Alabama, don't forget you lost 17 out of the last 18 to them. With your best Kentucky team, you have issues beating Tennessee. So until you start bringing 5 and 6 wins against them in a row, you really should come with your hat in your hand.
That's not true, Rob. They had to vacate a few of those wins, so they haven't been.
No one cares. On the field, you lost. Your best team lost.
That is true, but we did.
Tennessee puts your dick in the dirt and stomps on it every time they play you. And you're going to come in here and talk about how you're going to beat Tennessee ass? Shut up, man.
We are going to beat.
Jesus Christ.
Rob, I know you don't gamble. Would you like to gamble on the game?
I don't respectfully, sir. There are people that I will place bets with. I'll bet with Jackpot. I'll bet with the Comrade. I will bet with Peg and Megan. And Big Barney Ross to an extent.
I mean, I'd take a bet on that game. I mean, good Lord. I mean,
if you want to bet me heads up, I'll bet you heads up on it. You're not beating.
Look at the damn history of it.
So you're willing to bet heads up on it, and to make you feel warm and fuzzy, I'll send the money to Jackpot.
I don't need you to send anything to Jackpot. Just talk to me the week of the game, sir, and we'll go from there. Because you're probably going to be. Is the game at Tennessee this year?
No, it's in Kentucky.
Ah, man, double the fuel points at Kroger Field this week. He's coming to town. Holy shit!
I don't think you understand how big of an advantage this running clock thing is going to be. I think that's a big disadvantage for Tennessee during the season in general.
Okay, sir.
Also, one more thing. You're also welcome because the Kentucky basketball team is representing the USA in the FIBA, and they're about to bring home the gold. So you're welcome for Kentucky bringing home the gold. That's
well, it's good that they're winning that.
How are they representing the country or something? They can't even beat the Gamecocks.
Yeah, we sent a team that couldn't beat South Carolina
They couldn't beat a 9-win South Carolina team, but they're representing the entire country.
Yes, that's how it works when you get the number 1 recruiting class in the country in the tournaments for, I think it's like 23 so everybody under 23.
Oh, well. In the NCAA tournament though, you got issues, so there's that.
That's true. Rob, where you been in the NCAA tournament the past couple of years?
Brother, Clemson's not a basketball school. We don't pay our coach $9 million or $12 million a year to go out and lose to St. Peter's and then not even have a damn farewell press conference. So we're not the same, sir. We're just not the same.
Yeah, I agree with that. Kentucky has way more talent in every year than Clemson, but
right. Yeah, it's easier to attract 7 or 8 elite athletes to come play a basketball than it is to attract 55, 60 good football players. You're right about that.
Yeah, we could just pump them all full of steroids and say we didn't know.
That's true too.
I mean, that seemed to work for you guys.
Yeah, none of those players actually played, but good.
No, they played the entire fucking season, Rob.
Not after they tested positive.
You have
but
to win the games before that to get to the fucking championship.
Sure. Did they test positive before? No, they didn't.
To answer that question, I heard just a second ago. I was taking care of some business. Where was Clemson at in the NCAA tournament this past year? They weren't there. They didn't make it. Why? Because they, like Kentucky too, got dicked by a terrible South Carolina team.
Fuck you.
South Carolina kept them out of the playoffs in football, kept them out of the NCAA tournament, big deal in basketball.
Hey, did that P.T. Jackson kid leave?
Yeah, he's He's playing in the NBA now for Memphis. He played in the summer league. Averaged like 7 points and 5 boards in the summer league.
Well,
great. Rob, over in the comment section, Fishin wants to know if he was to come on again, would I give him a response? Well, give him a response to what? He asked in the comment section, Rob, when you get annoyed, do you just disagree with everything on the sun? You already said yes, and then your wife confirmed it.
If I hurt his feelings, I'm sorry, Fishin. Can we move on to Rob has SEC bias?
Yeah.
Thank you, Cross Sports Media.
Hey, can I?
Talk to me game week, sir. Talk to me game week, okay?
Was you on like all the testosterone or just like Metaball?
Am I on Metaball? I'm not on Metaball. I don't know what you're talking about.
Atlanta football program.
Brother, you should read before you come on the program and just throw things because you don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever.
Goodbye, sir. God damn it. Rob has an SEC bias joins the show. Hey, are you wearing a Citadel shirt?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
That's awesome. You know,
like it. I knew Kale went there.
According to our wonderful sponsor, Dennis Wilson from DNC Trucking and Transport, the Citadel has won 2 out of the last 3 against South Carolina in football.
One of them, I don't think we can count the Spurrier year. I think that
Well,
one.
I mean, it still counts on the scoreboard, sir. They went into Williams-Brice and won.
Yeah, well, guess what, Rob? 31-30. How about fucking that? How about How about UCF? UCF stormed your field and ran down your hill, sir.
I have no clue how that happened, by the way.
UCF drug their nuts across that field.
So don't you dare talk about the Citadel. You can't even protect your own stadium from a baseball team, Rob.
Hell, they can't even protect it from their own fans. Remember when their own fan, this demented little kid, went in there about 10 years ago? They broke down rock? Stupid.
Hell yeah, and if you remember correctly, all we heard were months were, there's damn South Carolina people vandalizing our rock. There's pieces of shit. Come to find out.
I thought that it was weird that it happened, and to be honest, I thought it was a Clemson student. So,
all I heard was, besmirching my
He went to jail for that.
Yeah, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, whatever happened to that guy?
Captain G with a good comment over in the comment section says the Vols in Nebraska are in a cockfight to see who is the most irrelevant blue blood. Right, show boy. I think Nebraska's winning that right now for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But they haven't won. I watched Uncle Lou video. He said they hadn't made a bowl game since like 2015.
Yeah, that's true. That's hard to believe. It really is.
Yeah, because they fired that coach, and he won like 9 games when they fired him. Who was it? It was like what's his name?
Was it Mike Riley?
Oh God, I got to look it up. Give him
Bo Pelini.
Yeah, it was Bo Pelini. They fired him for going like 9-4, and then hadn't made a bowl game. But yeah, I was just thinking. I wanted to call in, let you know. I still don't like Dabo. He's a charlatan.
I agree with that.
I'm still waiting for the resignation letter. I'll turn in when players get paid, that'll be the end of my coaching career. Where's it at, Dabo?
Yeah, where's it at? They spin it into something else. I'll come some fans say, he didn't say that. That's not what he said. Well, yeah, it's there in black and white.
It's on video. But, yeah, I don't have a whole lot for the show. I was thinking kind of how we're going to use Nick Harbor. I think his biggest impact, I think they throw him out there at return. We might see maybe 2. You remember when Debo had 3 touchdown returns in 1 year? We could be seeing that again, especially with Pete Lindo.
The offensive lineman that Jackpot was talking about, I think will have a bigger impact than Harbor will. Just my opinion. I think that I'm not knocking Harbor. I'm just saying as far as deep down in the trenches, going to give you something more. I think that the offensive lineman whose name escapes me that Jackpot was talking about earlier,
Marquis Anderson.
I think Anderson will have a bigger effect on the program than Harbor will.
Well, and Harbor's so raw too. He's
Right.
gonna get coached up by Step.
Yeah,
I think by the time Harbor's draft eligible, though, I think he's gonna be a freaking menace.
Might be right,
Yeah.
but season a little bit.
I would love for him to have a little bit of seasoning under his belt, and that game not be at the point in the season that it is in game one. Because I'd like to see him torch that UNC, that taffy ass defense that they try to trot out there every Saturday and pretend like it can stop a damn nosebleed.
All right. Well, anything else for the show there, buddy?
Nah, I'll just I'll leave you with this, Rob. There's a reason Fisher is pissed off at you, and it's because you could do better. And I think you know deep down that you're at fault, Rob.
What did I do wrong? Well, I'm bringing Fishing back in now.
Bring Fishing back in. Fishing. Tell this man right now. Come at him.
What do you got for the program, sir? Thank you, Rob.
Hey, good morning. Like I said, I didn't say anything bad or like illogical or anything. I was asking about the sanctions that were placed on other teams, but placed on certain teams. So, like I said, like the LSU thing, Tennessee
Sir,
thing. I wanted your thoughts on that.
I apologize.
That's all I was asking.
I apologize if I didn't understand what you were going with, sir. There you go.
Well, yeah. Well, what I meant was the NCAA happens to do things about certain things, right?
Sure.
But they don't do anything about other things. So, in my opinion, I think the NCAA either needs to do nothing or do something about everything, or they just need to do nothing.
I don't know.
And I also stated that Tennessee got off light because I think Tennessee is good now, and I think they pretty much gave them a lighter
It probably
sentence,
does,
if you
and
will.
they probably know that. I don't know. They probably know that if they slap them with something even harsher, they probably know that Tennessee would have all these damn, like Rob said, these attorneys, and they have this guy, this person, and that person. They'd probably come down and hem-haw and bitch and moan about this and that, and they would just throw such a temper tantrum, for lack of better words, that it was probably easier to just, let's just, give them the easiest thing or the lightest thing we can just to get rid of them and move on.
But that's my point, though. Like you just, the NCAA is just like, okay, let's just slap the wrist and get on with it.
Yeah.
When there's more punishments to be had. Like, I mean,
it's kind of like it. And this, let me go on a tangent. You might not. I mean, this might sound silly, but
no, go ahead.
Working in retail, running a store, we'd run into all kind of customers, and you'd have certain customers that would come in that, that they wanted to return something that they've had for 3 months, and the policy is, when it's broken and something's wrong with it, you have up to 1 month to return it. After that, we don't. But then they would come in and pitch such a bitch and just, know that this person's going to act a fool if I don't give them what they want, that we would just kind of, bend the rules a little bit and just give in to them and give them a refund on it, even though they had it for 3 months, just because we didn't want to deal with their mouth. And that's kind of like what I
seems
see.
like it, isn't it? Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know, man. My whole point is the NCAA needs to just step out of everything or do something about everything. Like, there's so many things that are falling through the cracks that they don't do anything about, and then they do something about this. And not only, and my other point was like they're doing something about this, but they're doing it lightly because Tennessee is a good team. And guess what? Tennessee is. I mean, are you going to put Tennessee on a bowl ban? No, because they're going to make a bowl ban next year, and they're going to make money. So no, they're not going to do anything as far as bowl bans go. So I mean, of course,
that's a fair point.
It's just silly.
All right, man. Well, do you have anything else for the show before we go?
That is it. Thank Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
But yeah.
sir. Good evening to that.
Good evening.
Great day. All right.
Jerry Wells says Tennessee fired those responsible, you hillbillies. Yeah, they did because it wasn't any good.
Yeah. That was a.
Because they sucked at their job.
Yeah. And it ended up working out better for them because now, in theory, they don't have to pay. They don't have to pay Pruitt all that buyout money because he was a shitty. In addition to being a shitty coach, he was also a shitty human being, and they got out of it. If Tennessee had balls, you know what they would do, Jackpot? They'd tell the NCAA, "Fuck you! I'm not paying you the $8 million. Sue me." See how that works out for them. What the hell would the NCAA do? Nothing.
Probably nothing. They'd probably never pay it.
Probably never pay it. Or I'm going to pay you in increments.
I'm going to pay you on Tuesday.
Pay you 25 cents a year until we pay it off.
I'm going to pay you on Tuesday, and Tuesday never comes.
Yeah. All right, Jackpot, let's get out of here, man.
All right, gang. Hey, this show was fun tonight, and we had a lot of people get in here. Very interactive, very entertaining and fun.
All right, appreciate you guys. We'll see you later on.